Good morning and welcome to the Security Watch India Conference 9th and 10th December 2009. This is the opening day, that is December 9th, and with me is the legendary Mr. Ved Marwah, who was with the IPS. He's also served with great distinction and human service to the country as governor of two states, at one time Manipur and then Jharkhand. Welcome to Security Watches India's conference, sir. Mr. Marwah. Sir, we'd like to know, given the fact that you have spent years in the service of the nation, whether as an administrator in police circles, as an IPS officer, and later as a governor, what problems have you seen wherein the police forces have faced in dealing with insurgency situations, which are basically like Naxalites or homegrown insurgencies, which have got nothing to do with being fueled by outside arms directly?
Well, as you know, the police in India was recruited, trained and equipped for a very different purpose altogether. Now, the type of threat with terrorism and insurgencies posed is qualitatively different. And I'm afraid even today that old attitude has not changed. And that creates a lot of practical difficulties. And some of these casualties which the police forces are suffering at the hands of the insurgents and terrorists, many of them could have been avoided if they were recruited, trained and equipped to deal with this new menace which they are facing.
So, given the fact that it is very difficult to actually safeguard every police family, because after all, at the end of the day, the policeman hangs up his uniform and goes back to his family. So how do we ensure that in areas like Jharkhand, for example, there is a tragic situation of a police officer actually being killed, this gentleman named Francis. How do we actually ensure that the citizens around that area are actually co-opted by the police and actually are good law-abiding citizens?
You know, we got this model of Punjab before us, because as you know, even in Punjab they tried not only to target the police officers, they even targeted their families, their women and children. And yet the manner in which the Punjab police responded and the manner in which the public of Punjab responded made it very clear to the terrorists that this is counterproductive. And after a while, they gave up targeting the families. They continued to target the police officers, but they gave up targeting the police families. So what you need, if they target police families, you need an awareness amongst the general public that this is something which they will not tolerate in any case. And no terrorism, no insurgency can really sustain without some sort of direct or indirect public support.
So what is the role of technology, given the fact that India does not have that much money to spend on exotic technologies, but how can we implement technology so that policemen and law-keeping forces are greater enabled and can provide better security?
Well, technology has changed everything. Take, for example, the ordinary, which is now technology which everybody uses, mobile phones, internet on the computer. It's not a very expensive technology. But if the police forces are trained to use these available technologies effectively, I think their mobility and communication will go a revolutionary change. So while sophisticated technology is expensive and perhaps not all that required in our country also, because unless the user is sensitive to this new technology, there is no point spending money on it. But technologies which now today even school children can use, more use should be made of those technologies. And even CCTV cameras or these things, I think they will go a long way in making our security system much more effective.
So we'd like to know, what are the hindrances to public-private partnership initiatives, given the fact that such initiatives have taken off in the economic sector? For example, toll bridges, airports, etc. They're all happening. Why isn't a good public-private partnership coming up in the private sector and taking the country to greater heights?
Well, the biggest hurdle in the way is corruption, because people who decide about hiring private agencies want commission and cuts. And that discourages a lot of private sector in not coming forward. And I think we need a regulatory mechanism which makes corrupt practices much more difficult. And I'm sure, I don't think that in principle anybody is against private-public partnership, because that's the only way you can supplement the government resources in tackling this huge problem of security threats. But I think government will have to do a little more in ensuring that, because after all, private sector will go ultimately for profit motive. But if they incur a huge cost in paying money to everybody, apart from a very difficult, and every company can't do it, it's very expensive, and because how many people they pay, and I think that needs to be tackled in a more systematic manner.
Finally, sir, Security Watch has launched an initiative called Secure Delhi, which aims to bring the public-private partnership and the government agencies, citizens, schools, colleges, industry, business, everything on a common platform. What do you think about this particular initiative, sir, and do you endorse it for a good success?
I fully endorse it, because that is the only way that you can make the life of an average citizen in Delhi secure. Government simply doesn't have the resources, police resources or other resources, to make arrangements that are foolproof. So you need to supplement them from the private sector, from civil society, NGOs, and the citizen at large, so that he's made aware of this danger and takes steps to improve his security. The Israeli model is very much before us. If you visit Tel Aviv or other cities of Israel, you will find every Israeli citizen is aware of this security threat, and he reacts as if he's a trained policeman. I think we need to replicate those practices in the city of Delhi.